All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday night, which is a little out of practice for me. Marked by Wrestling here with you. Let's watch Monday Night Raw, shall we? Madison Square Garden, huge, very important arena on the road to WrestleMania. So we're going to see a lot more development going into WrestleMania, which is just a few weeks away. Zach Minger, what's up, man? Happy National Hot Chicken Day to you. Man, hot chicken. That's on my it's on my radar. Hot chicken. But I don't think I'll be doing anything about that anytime soon, but it's something worth thinking about, right? Well, here we go then now forever together. It's been a minute since I've done a live stream of a main roster show. Life has been pretty chaotic this year and busy, and NXT, my sort of weekly comfort show, it's kind of been what I typically do here. But which, of course, tomorrow I'll be going live for NXT, also live from the theater at Madison Square Garden. But here we are. They call it the Mecca, going all the way back to the old WWF days. The big hub of pro wrestling in New York. And here we are. 3 title matches tonight. Penta defending the IC title against Kofi Kingston. Street fight for the tag team titles, Usos and the Vision. And women's tag titles on the line too. Irresistible Forces and Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. So we'll have to see where we go from there. And speaking of the Irresistible Forces, here they are. Nia and Lash making their way into the ring. To the arena, sorry. And Oba Femi's here. Big pop from MSG for Oba Femi. Don't think we didn't hear that. Yes, Sophie, you're right. I am usually busy on Mondays, but my family is out of town this week. So I'm just kind of home alone like Kevin McAllister this week. And so I had the time for tonight. So that's why I decided I wasn't doing anything else. I was going to be watching Raw anyways. So here I am. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see who we get here. Boy, Sophie, a lot of people got bent out of shape about Cena hosting Mania, didn't they? Like, I kind of could do without it, but I'm not like mad about it. You know what I mean? Like, I get why they're doing it, and it's not a bad business decision. I just felt like, man, yes, my family does know I'm home. Yes. And fingers crossed, no one has tried to break into my house and steal our stuff. So let's hope those differences remain. No, my family knows where I am. They know how to find me. Good distinction. Cody is here. What's up, Lockwood? Yeah, I mean, I guess Cody just needed to be at the big house here at Madison Square Garden. I imagine he might not be the only SmackDown person we see tonight. As we're getting closer to WrestleMania, we might see a little more cross-pollination from talent. But Madison Square Garden is Madison Square Garden. You know what I mean? So maybe that's what we're doing here. Shamanica, hey. Good to see you. And don't worry, guys. I'm still going to be here tomorrow for NXT, too. If you've seen A&B's video, big, exciting announcement from them. I'm super proud of them. And if I'm being honest, a little jealous. They got to interview some NXT talent. They're in New York right now. I don't know if they ended up going live or not. They were going to try to go live from their hotel room. So what's that last name? Good to see you, man. Lockwood. Yeah, I have thoughts about Cody. I don't love the way they've been booking Cody at WrestleMania since he beat Roman. I feel like they keep putting him with people that the audience just refuses to boo. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. As long as it's exciting, it's a low bar for them to clear the Cena match from last year's WrestleMania. As long as Jelly Roll doesn't get involved the way Travis Scott did, maybe we'll be okay. Oh, Shamanica, A and B, let's see. They made a short video earlier this afternoon. It was a pretty much a who's who. They got Joe Hendry, Ricky Saints, Miss Parker, Sol Ruka, JC Jane, quite a number of stars. So yeah, super excited for them. Wish Maybe one day I'll be able to follow in their shoes for that sort of thing. We'll see what happens. Sammy winning the title. Yeah, it doesn't bother me as much because because of the way they booked the finish of the match. I expect Mello to be added to that match somehow. Because Trick took out Mello by accident. Sammy took advantage, and they told a good story of Sammy being desperate to get to Mania, and he saw an opportunity of that being the only way he could do it. I don't think they've forgotten about Mello yet. They sure were, Sophie Dovey. A lot of people were really in their feelings about that. But then again, I'm still mad 20 years later, 40 years later almost, about the Honky Tonk Man beating Ricky Steamboat. So I can't judge too harshly. Yeah, Lockwood. Oh, who's interrupting Cody? Stephanie. Hall of Famer Stephanie McMahon. Well, what's she going to do coming out here? I'll admit I am surprised to see Stephanie, what she'll want to say to Cody. Huh. Stephanie McMahon here. Two WWE podcasters in the ring together. Last name, I did not see the AAA show, but I heard the Cruiserweight title match was off the charts good. TJP and Laredo and Cartwheel, I think is the kid's name, and something else. Okay, so Cody and Stephanie. Let's see what's going to happen here. Hey, George. Last name, I may have to go back and watch that then. I hate that AAA comes on in the time slot that it does, because honestly, it comes on so late. Your old man is just kind of tired a bit, but it never under delivers them. It's a great show. Shamanic. She's going to induct Cody right now. This is very interesting.
You would be surprised. I mean, the last time I checked, my name is Stephanie McMahon. This is the house my grandfather built, Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, name drop granddad for sure. We'll just skip a generation.
Okay. Stephanie McMahon.
Cody looks legit confused.
I want to talk about you. I want to talk about Randy Orton.
Stephanie knows a little something about 09 Randy Orton. She's channeling her dad a little bit.
See, Cody, you talked about where you used to sit at center stage in conversations that we've had. Well, I used to sit right over there. And Andre the Giant would walk by and squeeze my leg and give me the office as he'd come to the ring. Because you, me, and Randy, we are multi-generational talent in this business. We understand what it means to be at the top in a different way than anybody else.
All right. Stephanie's talking about being multi-generational talent as well.
All taking different paths to get to where
Father.
But you
Do you think Stephanie would take another shot from Randy
That's amazing.
all these years later?
You stay true to yourself. You stay
George,
true to
NXT is going to be good tomorrow. We'll be back for that, by the way.
Believe that you can bring out the best in people. That you can bring out the best of your opponents in the middle of this ring. And for the most part, you can. But you can't this time with this version of Randy Orton.
Okay. She is drawing on the 09 Randy experience. She's like, you cannot bring out the best of this version of Randy.
But you have to be able to think like that. You have to be able to
Steph's like, you got to DDT them and then kiss their unconscious body. I'm just kidding. But Randy did do that to her.
Dusty Rhodes could roll with the best of them. He could get down and dirty with the best of them. But from what I've seen so far, you are not your father.
Well, Stephanie's giving him some stone cold truth here. No pun intended.
Virtue of Cody Rhodes can't beat this virtue of Randy.
She's giving him like the Apollo Creed, Eye of the Tiger kind of speech from Rocky III. I mean, it does make a little more sense. They would choose Stephanie to deliver this message based on who they have available to them. Drawing on her experience with 09 Randy. But also basically telling Cody, like, you're going to have to be a different Cody if you're going to win.
Wants is to be rude to you, but I don't know who Randy Orton is. I know everything about Randy Orton. I know that he was the coal that became the diamond. I know he was the youngest world champion in company history. I know he was the legend killer by merit. I know he was plunging people's heads off left and right, my own father included. I know he was doing stuff so violent and so vile on this very show that we can't show it today. And I know that some of that stuff was to you.
Okay. Cody dropping a little ball knowledge here. Bringing up what Randy did to Steph.
Of the WWE universe of pro wrestling fans who want this whole student-teacher dynamic. But I ceased to be the student a long time ago, and it wasn't when I won the WWE Championship. It's when I became a babysitter, when I had to reach over in the car, turn the volume down just to make sure he was breathing while he drooled all over himself. I am not the student. I am not afraid of Randy Orton, and I am not walking into my very first WrestleMania main event. You want to bring up fathers? I'm not mine. You're right. Stephanie McMahon, with all due respect, you're not yours either.
Whoa. Okay. Cody said, you want to say, I'm not my dad. You ain't your dad either. And Steph just slapped him. But that's the weakest Steph slap I've ever seen, though.
You don't understand what this Randy Orton is capable of. He doesn't need a babysitter. He doesn't need any of that. He's not asking you to be the student, and I'm not saying you are. But Cody, you have to understand that Randy isn't just listening to the voices in his head. He beckons them. He loves what they're telling them. He can control them. And it appears that he is listening to someone else as well. So unless you can learn...
Who else is he listening to then?
Randy, then you are going to lose that title. And WrestleMania will be the last time Cody Rhodes is introduced as the undisputed WWE champion.
They keep planting seeds. Are they going to let their world champion get punked out by Stephanie in 2026? Okay. Cody just pulled her back. I mean, this is the problem with Steph slapping people. Nobody's going to slap her back.
2 words for you.
Two words for you. Thank you. Crowd booed that. I can't blame them. The problem with trying to tap into 2009 Randy Orton is that the fans want to see it. And so it doesn't actually work as a heel turn because something the fans want. And it puts Cody in a very unenviable position of still being the good guy babyface. And he's just going to get booed. It's the same thing that happened with Cena last year. Speed is here. Danhausen. Big pop for Danhausen. Sharmonica, you might be right. I don't want to see the Authority again, though. Lord help us.
Personal assistance and a camera boy for myself. You know I can't do that. Absolutely no.
Danhausen trying to negotiate with Speed, but it's not working.
Tonight I got your front row seats for the Usos division for the tag titles. It's a street fight. Oh, we have a special guest commentator. Oh,
LA Knight, yeah, will be a guest commentator for the tag team street fight tonight, and Speed will be ringside for the street fight too. Bro, how you not love oh, new Uso theme music. It's now just us, Us. It was a little silly having just me, Us, for both of them. It's not bad. It'll grow on me. They've been Def Rebelled again, though. Yeah, George, that's correct. John Cena will be the host of WrestleMania 42. And some people on the streets have been saying, too, I wonder if that plays into why we haven't figured out any plans for Gunther at WrestleMania yet, having to do with Cena being there. We'll see what happens. Oh, my goodness. All right, so here we go, y'all. Street fight for the World Tag Team titles. Usos versus The Vision. Logan Paul and Austin Theory. I Show Speed is supposed to be sitting in the front row. LA Knight supposed to be on commentary. We'll see what kind of shenanigans come into place and what this might mean for WrestleMania here in 3-ish weeks. Well, how's everybody doing today? Hope everyone is doing well. Again, it's not every Monday I get to hang out with you guys. I will be here tomorrow as well for NXT because we're in Stand and Deliver week. So I'll be going live this weekend for Stand and Deliver as well on Saturday. I'll be looking forward to that as well. It is the season finale, the WrestleMania of NXT. So we absolutely going to have to rock with that. Yeah, Lockwood, it was jarring to me at first. Cody is going to experience 2 straight years of boos in the main event of WrestleMania, which is unfortunate. At least I'm assuming Cody and Randy are going to main event night 1. All intents and purposes, it seems that Roman and Punk will be the final match for this year. And we'll see what happens, man. Yeah, so Last Name brought this up earlier on in the broadcast. Vikingo, who has Omos, I still believe, in his corner, right, as his muscle, is made a declaration on AAA this past week that he wanted to challenge Penta for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. So it certainly feels as though we might be headed for some multi-man craziness at WrestleMania if Vikingo is already throwing his name in the hat, and we're still dealing with other challengers here on Raw because Kofi is going to be challenging Penta tonight for the Intercontinental title. So very interested to see how that landscape shapes up. We'll see what happens. You're not hyped for Roman Punk, Lockwood. I got to tell you, the promos are not really doing it for me. But seeing Jay kind of like tap into the dark side a little bit and try to egg Roman on to be more violent with him last week, I enjoyed that part. And honestly, sometimes it's like I think of WrestleMania and matches like Roman and Punk. sort of like an Avengers movie. Like, I don't need to keep seeing trailers for it. Can we just get to the movie? Like, I don't need a ton of hype for Roman and Punk. Like, let's just go ahead and do the thing. Because it's clear that they've chosen a direction for it. Just calling Punk old, and honestly, Punk comes off as old to me because he comes out and he does the same city specific cheap pop every night, and I don't know. I feel like once the bell rings, they will have a plan and they have something mapped out that they probably want to accomplish with the match. And I'll judge that on its own merits. But yeah, I'm not like clamoring to see this match. Yes, sir. Modfather, giving the man some respect. Hope everyone's having a blessed day. And don't forget to super kick that like button, like your boy Shawn Michaels before he, this is back when he was a rocker. So he wasn't doing a lot of super kicking back then. But he did eventually, thanks to one barbershop window. And that coward Jannetty. Yeah, will Jay get involved in the Roman Puck segment tonight? I don't know. I'm curious if I'm very interested in the outcome of this match because Jay is acting very impulsively right now. He even did one of his little I don't care about I don't care about no tag team titles to Jimmy last week when they were in the ring with Punk. And I feel like Jay is a little obsessed with Punk on Roman's behalf. Could his lack of focus cost them the titles tonight? And could we have some different tag teams show up to challenge the Vision at Mania? And the Usos moving along to back Roman. I'm not saying it's what I want to see happen. I'm just curious. Feel like there's a pathway for that. But we'll see what happens.
What happened was Jay told him you could at least maybe try and hide the nuts next time, pick up the victory. He got a little hot about that. That's okay. But what it comes down to is, look, I'm not out here to get into their business. I'm here to get the Vision's business.
LA Knight clearly has got some beef with both these teams, or it's going to that as well. So maybe we'll end up with a sort of triple threat situation. But who would team with LA Knight? And don't tell me Speed. Please don't tell me Speed. Although a multi-man tag match is probably the place you want to hide Speed if you want to put him in the ring. But man, oh man, if we end up with an LA Knight and Speed tag team for WrestleMania, stay off Twitter, everybody. All right. Street fight rules, no tags. You're right, last name Seth might get involved here. I imagine we'll see him at some point tonight.
And look, he's the one guy who actually fell up the stairs to success. So I at least got to give him a little bit of credit for that.
Modfather, you ain't lied, man. Bianca has had some fantastic WrestleMania entrances. Her HBC band that one year and the girls step team from Compton. Those were both fantastic entrances. Loved both of those. Yeah, I will miss her this year too. I was really hoping she would come back and start something up with Jade. But c'est la vie. Such is life. I imagine we'll be getting her back sometime, though. Internet sleuths seem to be of the mind that they caught her training with Natty recently in like a big group of wrestlers who went to go train with Natty. And they took a big group picture, but one person's face was blurred out, and they shared some characteristics with Bianca. So a lot of people feel like they have deduced that Bianca is at least getting back in the ring to warm up. So maybe her return is sooner rather than later. I don't think we'll have anything by Mania, but hey, man, I'd love to be wrong. WWE is a better place when she's in it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Yes, absolutely. Now back to the Uso match. Oh, we still got a few more ads. Oh, my. Here's a question for you guys that is entirely off topic and a little food based, if I'm being honest. What is your favorite breakfast cereal? And if you don't eat cereal anymore, what was your favorite breakfast cereal when you were a kid? I am, and I'm a big fan of Captain Crunch and Crunch Berries. All right, Modfather, you're calling for a surprise return with her. Okay. Would love to see Bianca come back though, for sure, sometime soon.
I'm right here. No, I said sharing. Sharon? I'm over here. I'm sharing. It's my sharing. Sharing. Try sharing new Little Caesars 4-in-1 sticks for only $7.99. Pizza.
Oops. I should be the face of Cricket 5G. Why Cricket 5G?
All right, we're almost back from ads here.
Just like the fans game you can play on your Cricket 5G phone.
Tricks are for kids. Hey, Tricks takes me back for sure. That's good stuff. Preference breakfast cereal has to be Oops, all berries. Okay. Honorable mention has to be the Great Value Frosted Flakes. Hey, man, listen, don't sleep on all the Great Value stuff. Like sometimes the generics are packing something a little better than the name brands, like, which is the kind of thing you only really realize, if you've lived through a certain amount of struggle. Well, we're back and there's plunder in the ring now. We already have one Slim Jim table propped up in the corner, 2 trash cans and a kendo stick and a partridge in a pear tree, and the Vision in control currently at this time. How do I feel about the Drew and Jacob segment on SmackDown? It wasn't bad. I think Drew and Jacob are going to have a good match. I am not. Oh man, malfunction at the junction there from the Vision. I think their match will be better than their build was. And I will say this: I actually liked Jacob's portion of that promo because he was breathing heavy during the promo on purpose to sell the cracked ribs. And I thought that was such a wise choice. It's the kind of choice people don't think about when they're selling injuries, when they're talking. I thought that was pretty cool of Jacob. Just that shows he's thinking about that kind of stuff. Usos are pulling some pinata action on Austin Theory with a trash can over him with these kendo sticks. I ain't seen one lick of candy fall out yet, though. All right. Now Jimmy's setting up the table now. But they're having a little bit of a time getting it stood up. You can get a 1D here, maybe. They're both just staring at Theory, but neither one of them grabbed him. All right, Jimmy's got him. Throws Theory into the corner. Super kick. Setting Theory up on the top turnbuckle now. We're going to get a double superplex through the table, maybe? Where's Logan? I haven't seen him anywhere. All right, Theory. Tuck your chin, buddy. Right through the table. That was mostly legs going through that table, but that table snapped like a Slim Jim. He gets a good chant out of MSG. Oh, Trick's going to have one of the best entrances. Absolutely, Modfather. You right about that. Logan Paul's mom is there, sitting next to Speed with the brass knucks. Oh, LA Knight is not having this and started smacking. Now Logan holding on to Speed. Now Speed gets dragged over the barricade while LA Knight is throwing down Logan. Now Speed has the knucks. No. Speed just knocked out LA Knight with the brass knucks. He's looking like that is not inadvertent. What are you talking about? Did he think it was Logan? He's cursed. You effed up chance from New York. All right, Speed is he's just trying to leave now. Yeah, Michael Cole leaning on the curse. Logan's got the knucks now. Back in the ring, and he's aiming for an Uso. He's got Jimmy in his sights. Swing and a miss. Super kick. Double super kick. Now Theory's back up again. A double super kick. Off the ropes. Big spear. Theory sold that super well. That was half Theory. Maybe 2/3 Theory on that spear. All right, Jay's going up top. Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy goes to her suicide dive, gets KO'd by the knucks. So Jay jumps off the apron, and Theory Johnny Gargano's his way into draping over Jimmy, and we have new tag champions, y'all. Well, I mean, you really should blame Danhausen, I guess, right? It was a cursed match. Okay, so Theory and Paul are the tag champs. The Usos don't have the belts anymore. Speed KO'd LA Knight. Oh, boy. Yeah, Jay's going to crash out, and I'm afraid we're going to get LA Knight versus Speed. I might just have to stay off Twitter for the next month because I can't handle the crashing out. It's probably going to happen if that ends up being the match. And if Jay had stayed focused, they might actually won that match, but he chose to dive on Logan Paul instead. Logan Paul in Theory are holding Speed's arms up, and he keeps looking at him like, actually, I kind of like Logan in Theory, like embracing Speed as their buddy, and Speed reluctantly being like, I was not trying to help you. I didn't mean to. All right, you know what? I actually kind of like Speed in this role. I don't mind that. I don't mind Speed as the reluctant buddy to the Vision. That's with all the evolutions that faction has had to go through since the day after Mania last year. It's not bad. All right, so we're getting a now we're getting a recap of last week with Punk and the Usos and Roman. Yeah, I agree, Shamanica. We're probably going to involve the Usos more in the world title match now. Just wait. We're probably going to get another Bloodline reunion here. B's going to go cry in the bathroom. She upset about Speed. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Oh, man. I don't say it was a long segment last week, but just seeing the recap of it feels long. Okay. Yep. And we're seeing the recap now. Man, Roman's entrance is even long in recaps.
As respectfully as I can. Get your brother and leave my ring. I think you should stay. He needs the help.
The little snide comment about Roman still needing help actually was still pretty good. I thought that was pretty good. That was a good looking spear from Roman too. Something about Roman not throwing spears as often as he used to. I think they tend to look a little better. But I'm sure they'll get the main event segment here tonight. I'm curious, what they'll have for us in the next chapter here. Jay doing a Batista turn on Jimmy and Roman. Do you mean like an Evolution Batista turn, like the thumbs down, or the Rey Mysterio, you were supposed to be my friend type of turn? Oh, you got those same Jordans, my father. Okay. The Mysterio turn. Yeah, that's a little more befitting to Jay, I think, right now. Oh, yeah, Punk, won that title against Alberto Del Rio. He brought Howard Finkel in as his personal ring announcer for that match as well. A lot of fun there. Punk and Roman both here. Oh. All right, let's see what we got next. All right, here comes Liv. Watch me. Oh, yeah, the Royal Rumble winner. It wasn't even that long ago, just a couple months ago. All right, so we're just getting an entrance without anything until we go into another commercial break. So here we go with another commercial break. Stranger Things. Tales from 85. Boy, they really try to milk that thing.
Here's to the stop that never stopped. To the flavor that found its way into everything. From just one spot to America's #1 spot for wings. This isn't just a meal. It's an arrival. Stop here. 1,000, 1,000.
Cashback on Great Indoors.
Jay saying you were supposed to be my blood. Yeah, I can see that. Him turning on, yeah, we'll have to see how this match turns out. Here's a question to you guys, because I honestly don't know who I'm going to land on yet. Do you think Punk or Roman wins at WrestleMania? I mean, you guys might think it's already clear as day. I feel like it's still a little up in the air. But what do you guys think? Roman or Punk at Mania right now? Because I feel like the story seems to lean towards Roman, right? But I mean, is Roman just going to disappear for a few months with the belt? That's the only thing, right? All right, Modfather's got a question for you guys, everybody, and I want everybody to participate here. Let's all be polite. If you can go back in time and attend any pay-per-view or PLE, what would it be and why? I'm going to have to think on this because I've seen a lot of PLE's pay-per-views. On the one hand, Modfather, for me, I mean, I feel like my go-to answer would be WrestleMania 3. I mean, for the historical value, it was the first one that I really loved. Would I be going back as an adult to watch it? That would be something I'd want to see. Or am I going to be the age I was when it happened? You know what I mean? There's a few, right? That's a good one. The 1992 Royal Rumble, Ric Flair winning the world title, would be an awesome one to be at. SummerSlam 1990 or 91. For some reason, I have an affection for both of those SummerSlams. 91 though, Madison Square Garden, Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect, Big Boss Man and the Mountie. I mean, like, I don't know, like I really enjoyed that one as well. Also, a couple of WCW shows from back in the day. As a result, something my brother and I have been discussing on our Mount Rushmore episodes, we keep finding our way back. Lin-Manuel Miranda's in the house. Throwing a little Penta action up. All right. We discovered the inherent value of WCW's Beach Blast 1992. It's going to give you 3 matches off that card. You had Ricky Steamboat and Rick Rude in an Iron Man match. Sting versus Mick Foley, Cactus Jack in a Falls Count Anywhere match, and the Steiners versus the Miracle Violence Connection, Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and Terry Gordy, in like a 30-minute banger. That match that show would be phenomenal to go back and see live, and that's just 3 of the matches from the card. I'd enjoy seeing that as well. So, yeah, let me know in the comments. Like, there was a show you could go back and see live for the first time. What would it be and why? And meanwhile, we're back with Liv Morgan. Let's see what she got to say.
New York City. You are now in the presence of the great
I'll give Liv credit. She's trying to be obnoxious as she can be to not be over with this New York crowd.
You're done for, bitch.
Whoa. Okay, Liv's ready to fight.
One thing to attack me, but to attack my family, to attack the tiny dog. You know what? I want to say that I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised because you don't have any family here, do you? No, but you won't even rate me and say I'm hot behind mine. But meanwhile, you sneak attack me any chance that you get. So what are you
New tech for
scared of?
2K.
Are you scared?
Ooh.
Front me one-on-one?
Okay. Cool, Shamanica. I hope I can place 26 at some point. It's just not in the cards for me right now.
You are very proud of where you come from. But this
I was thinking about that, Mod Father, King of the Ring 98. I got to know, yeah, what that crowd thought, seeing Foley go off and through that cell.
my mother taught me to never let anyone get the better of me. But your mother? Tu madre es basura, puta.
Okay. Dom's been teaching Liv the dirty words. I tell you what, man, these girls are gearing up for a street fight. Like, I need you to understand something right now. Wrestling 101. The way these ladies have traded words, they better not start with a collar and elbow tie up and chain wrestling at Mania. It needs to be a fight. Because they're just crossing, they're habitual line stepping every step of the way. Jeez, that was a snug kick too. Man, Steph just dropped her like a bad habit. What's she doing? Oh, Steph's grabbed a chair. What's she going to do to Liv? Liv's begging off. And who's here? Well, Roxy's back. Now she's been ganged up on. Where's Iyo? Was Iyo helping out Stephanie? I can't remember. But now Roxy's back. Oh, we're going to get Oblivion on a chair. Woo! Good on Liv and Stephanie. They made that look good. The only thing is when Liv Morgan gets really mad, she sounds like Meg from Family Guy a little bit. She's kind of got that Mila Kunis voice a little bit. Just the slightest constructive criticism there. All right, well, Roxy has returned, y'all. The cards keep stacking against Stephanie the Care. Will they be too much for her in Vegas? Pretty sure she called her mother a prostitute. That's my loose translation.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are 2 weeks away. 19 nights in the start of the event, the greatest spectacle in all of sports entertainment.
Will Roxy turn on Judgment Day? Yeah, well, I mean, they're going to have a good reason for it now that she's shown up and sided clearly with Liv Morgan here. Okay, but see, I'm not wrong, though, Modfather. I like Liv, but when she gets really mad, that accent comes out, and it's like, come on, Brian. You're never going to be able to watch Family Guy again the same way. I agree, Shimonica. Tag champs are backstage now, with Speed still there.
I didn't mean to get involved. I was just, speak, stop. Whatever you meant to do doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. No, now you have enemies speak. You have real enemies. Trust me, I know. No, because I have enemies. You don't understand. Trust me. You don't understand. I can't do it. I'm telling you, Joe.
Heyman's here.
You're in good hands. You're with the tag team champions. You're with the division.
Shut up, Liv. Yes. Perfect, my father. Shut up, Liv. The Usos are going to kill him.
Email? That's what I said. Why her?
Pearson. Heyman.
No, that's not what the email's about. Well, if there's something very wrong with me, maybe you could type out a memo and send it to me via email.
All right. Well, Pierce said he emailed Heyman. I gotta wonder what we're getting there, what he's getting at. I imagine maybe it's going to have something to do with Oba and Brock, maybe, or Seth, I guess. Given that he didn't explain it right then and there, and there's still more show to come. All right. Okay, tag team titles part 2. Here comes Bird Lady and Bayley, Lyra Valkyria, taking on the irresistible forces of Nia Jax and Lash Legend. Like any good tag team, they're entering together, which is nice. Coming out to Lyra's music. Yeah, it would have been cool to see Dan. We've already seen Danhausen once tonight. I think we could see him one more time before the show's over. Now, do you think Bayley and Lyra win the tag titles here? I'm leaning towards no. It certainly feels like we're getting a multi-woman tag match at Mania. I'll tell you what would be bold. I know I keep focusing on this. I tried to force my will for Elimination Chamber to be a women's tag title match, which didn't happen. But honestly, if they did a women's TLC, I don't think they've ever had a women's TLC ladder match, especially for like tag titles, a tag title ladder match. You could clearly do that because you've still got the Bellas and Charlotte and Alexa. And so you could have a 4-team ladder match there, have the Irresistible Forces retain tonight, and then have all 4 of those teams meet at Mania. What do I think WWE Club is? I don't know. I feel like it's something expensive, if I'm being honest. I feel like it's some sort of membership subscription service that, if I'm guessing, might get you some priority ticket prices and stuff like that. It might get you some premier access, but not any discounts, if I'm guessing. But anyways, I would like to see a 4-way women's title match. And in regards to Iyo, Sophie, I'd like to see Iyo versus Asuka versus Kairi Sane. I think you could do a triple threat match there. Finally have Kairi just have enough, and have all 3 women go at it at Mania and give those ladies some time, and give us just a triple threat women's Japanese Mania extravaganza. And I think it could be really special if they just let them do their style match. Could be a lot of fun. I'm not super looking forward to the prospect of potentially LA Knight versus High Show Speed, but we don't know if that's actually going to happen or not. But LA Knight might try to find him a partner and take on the Vision for the tag titles at Mania, because the Usos could push themselves into the Roman and Punk situation. We'll see what happens. Speed and Vision versus Usos and LA Knight. That's a possibility. Last name. You could see Speed get uncursed and cost the Vision the match. Maybe I don't know. Could be something there. I still wish we get Ilya versus Gunther. Just all you have to do is what they did at WrestleMania 24, where the Raw GM and the SmackDown GM said, "Hey, let's have a Raw versus SmackDown match." Raw GM picks Gunther. SmackDown GM picks Ilya. Like they did that with Batista versus Umaga at WrestleMania 24. I should know. I was present for that one. Do that. I'm a little nervous that they're just going to save Gunther for a segment with John Cena. Maybe even John Cena and AJ Styles. But we'll see what happens. Tell you what, there have been some varying opinions on the quality of SmackDown last week. This tag match, there's a moment where Brie just screams out Brie mode, and you can hear the crickets in the crowd. It was just tough.
Bringing the fight to the women's tag team champions. With a little help from Charlotte Flair, but tension still running extremely high between all of these teams.
So anyways, yeah, I expect one or both of these teams to show up and ruin this match.
The women's tag team championship match has been held inside Madison Square Garden. That night it was the Glamour Girls versus the Jumping Bomb Angels.
Shout out to Michael Cole referencing the Jumping Bomb Angels. Let's go. Jumping Bomb Angels, like eons ahead of their time. as a women's tag team. Jumping Bomb Angels could be competitive in today's tag division, no doubt. Yeah, it was a Japanese women's tag team in the late 80s, back when WWF had like maybe 2 or 3 women's tag teams. The Glamour Girls and the Jumping Bomb Angels, like they fought each other multiple times. But anyway, they were awesome. Pretty sure they are. That's who should be going to the Hall of Fame, is the Jumping Bomb Angels.
Bringing the fight for the much more powerful Nia Jax. We're taking a high risk. This could be a great strategy for the challengers. Remember last year's Wrestlemania, Lyra Valkyria would win the tag titles along with Becky Lynch. We would find out later on that Becky Lynch would attack Bayley, costing Bayley an opportunity at WrestleMania. So again, another door opens for Bayley tonight with a chance to make it to Las Vegas. And she's got to keep plugging away, Corey. I mean, look at what Sami Zayn did this past Friday night on SmackDown. General Manager Nick Aldis told him, "You don't have a spot at WrestleMania." What does Sami do? He goes out, wins the United States title, and forces his way to Vegas. Bayley would love to follow suit, but on the other hand, if Bayley and Lyra are unable to dethrone the champions tonight, I don't know how you find a path with this little time left between now and WrestleMania. At point, Bayley in off the attack. Bayley, a former 2-time tag team champion. Look at this. That's Bayley and Lyra. Bayley quickly, there's that veteran instinct into the cover. Hooks the inside leg and Batman at 1. Lash legend bringing her next level power every time she steps in the ring.
Yeah, they certainly made their quotas. I think next year would be a great year for the Jumping Bomb Angels, though. Do that. I am curious what we're doing here. You know what I mean? What we'll be doing next year if Mania is still in Saudi Arabia, how they'll handle who they induct in the Hall of Fame. Modfather's got another question for us. If you can referee any match, what match would it be and why? Well, my lazy answer, Modfather, is any Goldberg match because it would be quick work. I would be down for that. So, Modfather, I'm curious what your answer would be, though, good sir. Because all the matches I love to watch, I'd hate to referee because I don't think I have the conditioning to keep up with the kind of matches I like to watch. All right, back to ads. Oh, excuse me. Kane and Undertaker matches. Oh, yeah, okay. Right, quick work. Exactly. Refereeing a Royal Rumble wouldn't be bad either because you don't actually have to get involved. You just ring the bell when it's over. It's a little bit of a technicality. But I'm thinking like, you know, those Angle Lesnar matches or those Steamboat Flair matches. Like, gosh, man, I feel like I'd be sucking wind in the first 30 seconds and they're going to go 30 minutes or whatever. Wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't be in the match like 1, 2. It doesn't matter if the Modfather counts to 3. Good stuff. Referee in an I Quit match. Yeah, that's tough as well. We don't just ride the bull. We are the bull. We're light duty, heavy duty. Hurricanes and Hellcats, and we're backing up with America's best powertrain limited warranty. We're US Titan donut making. I think we get a Jericho and Gunther segment at Mania. You know, if Jericho is going to come back soon, Mania is the kind of place where I think, you know, he'd get some buzz for doing it. If he could be, you know, the topic of conversation, I think he would jump at that opportunity. So we'll see what happens.
When I get back, Those are the family. That's where Straight Talk Wireless comes in. Straight Talk.
All right, we are
2009, and they always offer free 5G phones from new.
third of the way through the show.
On America's most reliable 5G network.
8 matches so far. So okay, so that's 4 a night. Last year, I think they had 6 or 7 per show. Maybe they had 13, split it right down the middle. So I think they could get 3 or 4 more matches. So Lash be having trick. Oh my gosh. It did make me tickled on SmackDown when Nick Aldis told Trick that he had a Mania match. He's like, I got to go tell Lash, like right there on camera. I'm like, oh, so we're not pretending anymore, are we? Because I remember way back in the day on NXT when Lash was still in Metaphor, and she called Trick Babe on camera by accident. I did not know that, Sophie. Is that where he's defending against Vikingo? I thought he was. I thought Vikingo was challenging at Mania. Nia Jax kind of got that clueless look right now. Her gear, not her brain. Her and Lash both, though. Got that Alicia Silverstone look. Do I miss Metaphor? Not really. I do miss Jakara. I liked her and Lash together. The guys, though, in Metaphor, I was pretty indifferent about, if I'm being honest. But I loved Lash and Jakara. And to be fair, Jakara, or Mara Sade, as she's known in TNA, she seems to be doing well in TNA now. So, all the best to her. And clearly Lash is doing more than she's ever done at any other point in her career. So I can't say I'd want her to still be a part of it. Yeah, Sophie, I agree. I would be very surprised if we get out of tonight's Raw without adding, say, 1 or 2 more matches to the Mania card. Oh, geez, Lyra. Reversing that suplex right into a DDT. That was clean. And that looked rough. I mean, like in a good way. Lyra makes a tag to Bayley. Crowd's hot for Bayley. Or at least they were hot for the tag. Only 2.
Bayley took a moment to survey the scene and make sure Nia was still where she's supposed to be.
Man, big boot from Lash. I tell you what, Lash is striking. The way she throws a certain forearm and that big boot is just nasty work. Leg drop from Nia. Oh, so if people can be very upset if Carmelo doesn't get added to the U.S. title match. Modfather just being super generous tonight with his questions. So let's grab another from the Modfather. He asked, if you could pick a current star to team with a past star, who would it be and why? You're opting for Trick and Booker. I think that is a fantastic combination. I'm gonna think on that, Modfather, and I will get back to you. Corner power bomb from Bayley to Nia, tags Lyra back in. Middle rope moonsault, and Lash breaks it up at the last second. John Cena and Austin Theory, Sophie Duffy says. Oh, huge right hand from Lash. Lyra with a roundhouse kick, and it's a European uppercut. Crowd's up. Oh, we've got company. Here come the Bellas. And who else is here? Charlotte and Alexa, like clockwork. Kurt Angle and Gunther, or Undertaker and Gunther. Okay. Those would be some sick teams.
We were talking about how red hot the tag team division has been.
Now they're just arguing, and Lyra gets distracted. She's outside the ring. Nia grabs her and throws her into the crowd of ladies. Oh, big shot to the back of the head. Okay, Jacob Fatu and Haku. Oh, good call. All right, Modfather, are you ready? I've got my answer. Bronson Reed and Bam Bam Bigelow. That's who I'd go for. Bronson and Bam Bam. Or Bronson and Vader. Either of those teams. Oh my gosh, I do remember the Bubba stare, Modfather, the euphoric look in his eyes. All right, well, there it is. Match gets thrown out. The conventional wisdom here says fatal four-way match. We'll see what we get. Also, not a lot of people probably remember his high-flying days, but young Brian Pillman and AJ Styles would be a great team as well. Kind of a flat finish. That honestly, that sort of group fight didn't draw a lot of reaction from the crowd. It just kind of sucked the air out of the crowd, who was actually pretty into the tag match. But Irresistible Forces remain tag team champions, and you've got 1, 2, 3 other teams in the ring arguing amongst themselves. It seems pretty academic at this point. All right, Hall of Fame. We got Stephanie. We got AJ Styles. We got Sid and Bad News Brown now. And, of course, Dennis Rodman and Demolition. Javon Evans and Jeff Hardy. We almost saw that in NXT. All right, let's see what we got here 7 days after the fall. Oh, this segment that they aired it on SmackDown too is beautifully done. I'm just going to shut up and watch it. Between Oba and Brock. Really well done. This is going to be the Slayer of the Beast, the Conqueror's Conqueror, one to beat the one and 21 and 1. Oba Femi and Ron Simmons. Last name, dog. People are going to get hurt in that match. It'd be some nasty work. Nasty work. Man, what a clothesline from Oba. This is definitely my most anticipated match for Mania, without a doubt. Eddie and Dom, Taker and Priest, Prime, Rock and Roman, sure. Prime, Stone Cold and KO. Oh, all solid choices, Modfather. Brock coming up next when we come back. He's got to be getting ill at this point. There's only so many elk in South Dakota he can murder to get his anger out. So something's going to happen. Imagine a Jacob Fatu and Haku versus Oba and Ron Simmons match. Yeah. Well, funny you would bring that up, last name. If you go watch Starrcade 1989, the subtitle for that show is Future Shock. For those of you guys who maybe follow the Continental Classic in AEW, WCW actually experimented with a singles and tag team tournament round robin style in one night. And in the singles tournament, it was just 4 competitors, and the tag team tournament was just 4 teams, right? So in the singles tournament, it was Sting, Ric Flair, Lex Luger, and the Great Muta. And in the tag team tournament, it was the Road Warriors, the Steiners, And funny you should mention these two teams last name. You had Doom, who was Ron Simmons and Butch Reed, and the Samoan SWAT team, who would later on be known as the Head Shrinkers in WWF, Samu and Rikishi Fatu. So you have you actually have a Fatu and Ron Simmons in that tag match. So last name, I would direct you to YouTube to find Starrcade 1989 and Doom versus the Samoan SWAT team. You could probably find a good match there. And yeah, hard hitting stuff. All those tag teams, as Booker T would say, no bread, no water, just meat. Steiners and Road Warriors were nasty. Yeah. So every team faced all three of the other teams throughout the night. Obviously, the endings of some of the matches left a little to be desired because clearly they had to kayfabe the tournament. So someone earned enough points to actually win it. But still, it was a really good matchups there. So if you were interested in that match, Jacob Fatu and Haku versus Oba Femi and Ron Simmons, I think watching Doom versus the Samoan SWAT team would be well worth your time. Yep, 2 meaty men slapping. Yeah, 4 meaty men slapping meat in that match. Just speaking of Big E, there he is in the Slim Jim commercial with Bianca and LA Knight. And now Fortnite ad before we come back from the break.
Fix that now. Luckily, I have a little help now. They sent me the workplace variant of the foundation. I don't think he understands that weapons don't do anything here, but I've never had a friend before, so don't put that in his thing.
Monday Night Raw from the Garden tonight is live on Netflix and presented by DoorDash. I'm still trying to figure out.
All right, we're back in New York City. My father's in the lab tonight, man. He's cooking up all kinds of questions. What faction would you bring back to put? Oh, Danhausen's here. What faction would you bring back? Saturday night's main event at MSG. Okay. Dude, an MSG Saturday night's main event is going to be a big show. Bringing back a faction, the Dangerous Alliance, Modfather. I mean, we almost got there in the early days of the Vision, but it didn't happen. Otherwise, factions. You know what I miss? I miss the Heenan family. Like, if you had one good charismatic manager who just signed up a bunch of heels to manage, they just don't do that anymore. But anyway, here comes the beast. So we're going to be glued to our screens here. I hope Danhausen got out of the way. But yeah, Dangerous Alliance, I'd bring them back right away. Evolution, Evolution is kind of a play on the Four Horsemen. I always enjoyed that schematic of one charismatic main eventer, a future, up and comer, and then maybe like a tag team as one group, like a traditional Survivor Series team almost. But yeah. Whereas, say, Ministry of Darkness, big faction there. Oba and Brock, baby. Pretty soon they've got to be announcing what matches are going to be on what day. It doesn't really matter all that much, I guess, but that's just one of those things I really like to know ahead of time is what matches are going to be on what day. And I don't have a clue where Oba and Brock will land on the card. If they'll open up one of the nights, because, night 2, the first hour is going to be on ESPN proper. And I'd put Oba and Brock on ESPN proper. Oba chance. Who's got the mic? Paul's got the mic.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul, the advocate for the baddest dude walking the face of the planet, the real main event of Wrestlemania, the Beast, the Conqueror.
Brock still looks like a monster, man. If he gets bald on the top, though, he'll start to have that Hulk Hogan look. Right to censor and Samoan SWAT team. Okay. The right to censor were heat magnets, dude, for sure.
Here tonight to pontificate on the perils that await. Oba Femi.
Okay, so he's here to talk trash to Oba.
2 weeks ago, let's all be candid about this. Brock Lesnar
Oh, yeah.
distracted
Brock
freaking Rollins
is a legit superstar. It doesn't matter how many kinds of moves he can do. The end of the day, he's believable.
Brock Lesnar was not dressed to fight. Brock Lesnar came out to have a beast.
Yeah, Brock's in his ring gear tonight.
Oba Femi. But of course, Oba Femi decided to pick a fight when Brock Lesnar just wanted a conversation. Well, if you notice, tonight, Brock Lesnar is dressed to fight.
Brock Lesnar's dressed to fight. He's just staring at the entranceway, too. I agree, Modfather. I kind of like the ponytail, Brock. What's up, Nico?
Himself. That man leaves a puddle in the ring that has to be locked up.
Please hit that like button, you guys, if you're here. Much appreciated.
Oba Femi from the beating he takes from Brock Lesnar. Oba Femi, get your ass out here right now.
Okay, Brock straight to business. Snatches the mic out of Heyman's hand and calls Oba Femi out. This is what Adam Pearce was going to tell Paul Heyman.
My job is to preserve my main events for WrestleMania, and that is precisely what I'm going to do. So with all due respect,
Adam,
Adam,
don't take an F5. Don't get any closer to that ring, dog.
gentlemen, if you please, leave the ring. Please.
Adam Pearce asking Brock and Heyman to leave the ring. Uh-oh. Well, the ruler said, forget your all due respect. Oba's about to make his entrance. Let's see what we're going to get here. Dude, the lighting and presentation on Oba's entrance, the backlight and the silhouette is just chef's kiss, man. Yes, let's pray for security. There's going to be some local indie guys that are going to need to make sure they have their insurance money tonight. Make sure their copay is good. Nope, Oba's theme is the same from what I can tell. Well, Oba's in his ring gear too. Strutting his way to the ring. And Brock is crouched, man. He's ready to strike. Are we Yeah, I'm very curious how this is going to play out. Oba stopped strutting. He's just slowing down. Oh, security ran at Oba, and he just leveled. Oh, 3 guys, 4 and 5. Pray for security. Oh, my gosh. He just yeeted a guy. Adam Pearce is in Oba's face now. Oh! Oh! Oba just tossed Pearce into the barricade. This is the kind of thing back in the day. Strowman did it. Big Show did it. They need to break the ring. I know they're not going to do it because we've got an hour left in the show, but they should break the ring. These 2 guys should be breaking the ring. Brock's grinning. I think he's hyped up that he put his hands on Pearce. He's like, come on. Like, finally a worthy opponent. Meanwhile, Oba just strutting around the ring, stalking his prey. Is he going to get in the ring? All right, he's up on the apron. Crowd is hot. Oba steps through the ropes. All right, they're both in the ring. Holy chance, they have not touched. This is the first time they've both been in ring gear. Having a stare down. See, neither one of them is throwing the first shot either. Now that they're both... Oh, Triple H is here. Triple H just got in the middle of them. Is Hunter going to take a bump? Because Oba already threw Adam Pearce. Oh, they're getting nose to nose. Hunter is getting in the middle of them. Hunter is screaming at Heyman to get Brock out of there. He's got a hand on Oba. Brock leaves the ring. So he walked Brock down. Hunter came out of Gorilla. Oh, Brock's picked up the ring steps. He's still bowing up at Oba. All right, he just threw the steps aside. Boy, I tell you, it's been a long time since I've seen a feud do so much with so little. I mean that in the most complimentary way possible. All the security's still selling. They didn't really give us anything, but they gave us so much. Oh, Brock just picked up a security guard and just F5'd him for no reason. I can do it too. Wow. Silverback Gorilla and Albino Gorilla. Yeah. This is Kong versus Godzilla for sure, man. I know New York is disappointed, but they're saving this, man. They really are saving this. That was awesome.
To me,
Finn Balor segment.
as a family, we ran Raw for 4 years. And in that time,
Love that.
I've done some things I'm not exactly proud of. I made some enemies.
Absolutely.
I made a lot of bad decisions.
Absolutely hope they get paid
The
extra.
first decision I made was thinking I could make a man out of Dominic Mysterio. And Dom, I'll give you credit. You learned one thing. You ran my Playboy Kids. Bravo. Can't you remember? When you turned your back on your
Shamanica, you mean tonight? Main event tonight or main event WrestleMania?
it was me you turned to. I was the one to step in and step up for you. You didn't lose
the Intercontinental Championship because of me. You lost because you're a self-entitled jackass. Now I'll admit it. I'm guilty. I helped create that jackass. I'm responsible.
You know what, Shamanica? The more and more I think about it, I think this should main event night one. I never thought your boy would say the WWE title should not main event either night of WrestleMania, but I think it should open one of the nights. It is clearly the most anticipated match out of the whole card. I would go for I'd have the main event night one. I'm sold on it now. I'm not going to expect it to happen. Honestly, I think it'll probably open one of the nights instead. But yeah, it deserves if you're talking about putting the hottest matches on last, that deserves it. Brock and Oba build to WrestleMania has been better than most storylines, and neither of them said a word. 100% Modfather. Like it's just superstar presence, man. And yeah. Penta making his entrance, the Intercontinental Champion, Penta, will be taking on Kofi Kingston up next. All right, you guys. I've got a channel mascot who needs a little bit of assistance. So while we're on break, I'm going to go on break too, and I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, everybody. So your boy's back. Thanks for being patient. Actually, hold on. I forgot to shut my door. Give me a second. All right. I heard as I was walking away, Michael Cole give props to Carmelo Hayes on commentary, which is a good sign for those of you who might be afraid that he is forgotten after losing the title. Okay, so Penta is defending April 11th against Vikingo in AAA.
So Kofi's out here in hopes of capturing the Intercontinental Championship fifth time and having Javon realize that the offer to stand by Kofi's side.
Let's see. So Penta and Kofi here. I mean, this could be a show stealer too, you know. Kofi can still go, man. We've been used to seeing Kofi as a single star for almost the past 10 years outside of that short Kofi Mania run. In 2019. Even that was 7 years ago now at this point. Chops going back and forth here. But yeah, Kofi was a real big time mid-card solo performer back in the day, back when he was Jamaican. Javon and Prime Kofi. Oh yeah, what a great team. I'll do you one more, Mod Father. Give me Javon and 2 Cold Scorpio. How about that for some retro? Would be a lot of fun.
Unbelievable career here in WWE. Oh, look at the Penta driver now on Kofi. A switch by Kingston.
Kofi just a step behind Penta here in this match. Penta with the handstand. This takes me back to Ultimo Dragon. Used to love Ultimo Dragon, by the way. I'm a sucker for dragon related gimmicks, going all the way back to my Ricky Steamboat love. And I loved Ultimo Dragon's gear too. A lot of fun. Tell you what, man, Kofi's a Hall of Famer. Like the amount of gold that man has amassed in his career in WWE, just an Iron Man for WWE. We kind of take him for granted these days, but man, he did so much. Javon is super crazy. Oh yeah, super crazy was nuts. Oh, tried to go for a destroyer on the apron, but just gets backdropped. Grayson Waller oiled up like Macho Man levels. No baby oil. Chris Osmond, what's up, man? Welcome to the chat. I'm glad you could be here. By the way, if you're watching and just staying quiet, feel free to like and subscribe on the channel. We'll have a couple more videos coming your way this week. So we'll be doing NXT live tomorrow. But also we're going to be uploading another episode of Mount Rushmore matches with my big brother. We're going to be covering the Surfer era of Sting and recommending 4 matches for you to check out during that period in his career. We'll have a playlist available for you to be able to go on YouTube and watch those matches in succession, maybe with a few extra bonus matches as well. But we'll be talking about reminiscing about our times as younger fans when those matches were happening and what all was going on in that time and what made them special and what made Sting special. So That should be coming tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, but probably tomorrow. And I'll meet you guys back here, same regular time for NXT tomorrow as well, which will also be live from the theater at Madison Square Garden. We're going to get a new number one contender for JC Jane at Stand and Deliver. It's either going to be Lola Vice or Kendall Gray. We'll have a tag team title contendership tournament. I believe it's the tournament final. Los Americanos versus Birthright. The winner will face the Vanity Project at Stand and Deliver for the tag team titles. Also, Keanu Carver versus Jasper Troy with Josh Briggs as a special guest referee. A few other things coming on NXT as well. NXT, you know, a lot of people get down on it online ever since Oba, Trick, and Javon left, but it's still been good. It's still been a good program. I look at it, I call it every week, I say it's like the college football of pro wrestling. Like you always get to see a new up and comer, exciting things. And you also get to see stuff play out that you'll probably never see play out on the main roster. Things like Chase U or, you know, Hank and Tank or something. That's a lot of fun. So anyways, Penta and Psychosis. Now last name, that is a good blend right there. Those two together. Good call. Good call. Modfather, core memory unlocked. Back when I was a young Modfather, the pawn shop had an actual replica big gold belt. I cried for my mom to buy it. She told me to save up. When I went back to buy it, it was gone. Man, Modfather, that's some deep pain, my friend. I remember reading the old Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazines, and I saw an ad for a replica championship title, and it didn't even look like a WWF or NWA belt. It didn't look like any of them, but it was a real title belt, and I think it was like $100, which in the 80s and early 90s is a lot of money. But I begged for that for my birthday, and then my dad came up to me and he said, "Is there anything you'd want for your birthday? What would it be?" Like hinting that he got me whatever I was really asked for. And I asked for the belt, and he's like, "No." But he had gotten me tickets to go see Clash of the Champions that was in Augusta, Georgia at that time. And talk about core memories, man. Even though the card maybe wasn't my favorite WCW card at that time, that was an amazing event. The first televised event I ever went to either. And so, yeah, man, core memories are great. Modfather, I got to know, now that you're a grown Modfather, do you possess any title belts? Now, I can't lie. Obviously, clearly, I've got the big gold. My kids found a version of the Universal WWE title for me, and my special favorite is the old IC title, the Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat IC title. Big gold I've had for nearly 18 years. It's an adult all by itself now, but I've had big gold for a very long time. And yes, he's seen better days, but I don't know. You feel like the nature boy when you hold it. What can I say? Gives you an extra layer of confidence. All right. Well, we're back here. Again, Penta and Kofi, IC title on the line. I'm looking in the crowd, and the crowd is like playing fireflies with their cell phones, which honestly it feels like not a good sign for their engagement in this match, if I'm being honest. I feel like Penta and Kofi deserve better, but let's see what we got here. Kofi dove over the top rope, gets caught by Penta, and he gives him an old Randy Orton style back suplex on the announce table. Oh, Grayson was bent over, kind of talking passive-aggressive trash to Kofi, and ate a destroyer from Penta. Kofi's back in the ring. Penta climbing up top. Oh, Kofi caught him with trouble in paradise right out of the air. Only two, though. Wow. Well, trouble in paradise ain't what it used to be. That wasn't the same move that put down Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. Big Penta chance. You actually have the replica Rock revealed after he threw away the spinner title, the last belt with the scratch logo. I really want the undisputed one held by Brock Eddie. Yes, the O2. Good call, Modfather. That's a good belt. You know, that there's a destroyer. That ought to be it. Let's count it down. 2. Penta retains. That's a good belt, Modfather. The you know, I kind of fell out of love with the look of belts after maybe Big Eagle. But I do respect that Universal belt. It looks like the kind of belt the premier champion of an organization should hold. You know, that's why I never liked the spinner belt. I thought The Rock was 100% right. The WWE title should never look like a toy, and the spinner belt looks like a toy. And I've never liked it for that reason. I understand, like, if it's the belt that you grew up on as a fan, you know, and stuff, you like it. And I won't judge you for loving the belt of your youth, right? But I never liked that one. And there's a bit of sameness about these belts. I don't mind the big W's, but they're all kind of the same after a while. And, you know, I grew up, the belts I grew up with were Big Gold, Winged Eagle, Intercontinental title, and even the WWF tag titles. They all look distinct from each other, and I miss that. There's more distinction than there used to be. All right, Jackie Redmond talking to Penta.
Is there any chance you could enlighten us?
On the plans for the IC title.
Not just for me, for anyone who dares. I thought to Adam Pearce, it's done. At WrestleMania, title hands above the ring.
Ladder match.
Line and fall. Because of that, it's not your war. That's my kingdom. At WrestleMania,
IC title ladder match. Okay, I love you, New York, dude. Penta, I love you, dude. That was if there is a wrestler crazy enough to put his title on the line voluntarily in a ladder match, it's Penta. It's the man with not. He's the daredevil of WWE, the man without fear. He's like, go ahead, pain for anybody who wants to step in the ring with me at Mania. Oh yeah, yeah. It'll probably just be a fatal 4-way, Sophie. That's okay.
Well, not that it's any of your business, but the beast left the world's most famous.
Good question. Last name. I'm very curious who will be in that ladder match, but Penta will defend. I wonder if Vikingo comes over. I wonder if Kofi gets in there.
For a recap of a previous conversation. I am from New York. We keep our ear to the ground. We keep our nose in the gutter. That's how we know.
Okay, so do you just smell anything interesting today?
Yeah. I smell the stench of a corporate general.
All right, so Adam Pearce and Heyman still jawing back and forth. I know it's just dramatic effect, but I freaking wish Adam Pearce would just say what he means. Like, by the way, this Club WWE thing, 100% nearly guaranteed. They're probably going to announce what it is at WrestleMania and watch it be some kind of subscription service. I just have a feeling about it. You know what I mean? Oh man. This has been a good episode of Raw. I don't know how you guys feel, but every segment has either built towards Mania or delivered on some level.
This week, only a Papa John's. Any large pizza at regular menu price, get a large one.
Man, like Oba and Brock. I'm convinced now. I'm not gonna crash out. If they don't give me what I want. I'm a little bit more mature than that. But that they deserve to main event night one. Yes, Shamanica. He keeps saying, "Do you see the email?" While Paul gets interrupted by Seth, he tries to attack Paul, then Braun spears him. They're not doing this for Paul versus Seth. Yeah, I mean, what if it does have to do with Braun Breaker? I mean, there have been rumors on the old interwebs that Braun is feeling a little better. So we'll see what happens here. I tell you what, though, dude. If we get Braun Breaker back in time for Mania, the gas bill has been turned back on, my friend, and we are cooking again because Seth needs something to do. I wonder, obviously they know. I'm convinced that they know whether or not they have Braun for Mania. I think they already know, and the story's just playing out, right? But if they don't have Braun for Mania, who do you put in the ring with Seth? Because they're clearly giving precious airtime to Seth in the build-up for Mania. And who's he going to face? Shamanica, no. I think they have a whole new setup. Because if you look last year, it was like the slot machine, like neon motif last year, and the stage reflected that. But this year, it's a black and white kind of aesthetic. So I think the stage is going to have to reflect that in some form or fashion. I don't know if they'll start from scratch. They might take, where would they store that entire stage for a whole year, But it might have some similarities to last year. But the last time they were in the same building twice was WrestleMania 4 and 5, and it did look exactly the same there because it was Trump's casino in Atlantic City in 88 or 89. Heyman taking shots at Jersey. All right, Heyman's back.
In the words of the late great Howard Finkel, and new world team champion, Austin Theory.
There was nobody like Howard Finkel, man. Samantha Irvin was really, really good. And for my money, she was the closest to Finkel. Lillian Garcia was good, but very good. But yeah, we have not gotten that same bit.
To give back to the community. I tried to give you live tonight.
That's true, Sophie. We don't know.
Square Garden. Barack.
Heyman is just running his mouth. He's a great talker, but I do kind of wish he'd get to the point. Tony Kimmel was good, but he just wasn't. Nobody but Samantha, because Samantha really did her own thing. But the way she did her own thing was almost at the level of Finkel for me. Oh, Pierce has followed him out here.
So I'm going to ask you again what I just asked you a couple of minutes ago.
Don't ask him if he read the.
Check your email today.
Why do they keep? Do you think he checked his email in between the commercial break? This is a weird way to reveal something. This takes me back to the anonymous general manager days.
There's nothing, Adam Pearce, that you will ever tell me that I don't already know.
All right, there's something he doesn't know.
So then you know Boston Police Department has dropped all charges against Seth.
Okay, Boston police dropped all charges against Seth Rollins. All right, so
Surely you know
super
that.
kayfabe. Heyman's sweating bullets now.
What do you think? I'm Paul Heyman. Of course I knew that. What? Let me guess. I'm supposed to be afraid, Mr. Pierce. I'm standing here in the ring in my hometown. I'm the native New Yorker in WWE. I'm fear no man. I am the last manager standing from the 1980s, and Madison Square Garden can testify. I am the last promoter standing from the 1990s.
Oh. Heyman said, I'm the last manager standing from the 80s, and I'm the last promoter standing from the 90s. Shots fired. He's not wrong.
Then you also read in your email that as of this very second, Seth freaking Rollins is medically cleared to compete.
Seth is medically cleared to compete. And he's here. All right. Camera. Oh, he's behind Heyman and he's got a chair. Shield style. You're about to get cracked. Oh, chair shot to the Heyman's back. Seth looks smooth, by the way. He doesn't look goofy. He looks like Neo from the Matrix. Oh, he's going to try to curb stomp him on the chair. Crowd's getting louder. Is somebody here? Gunther. We're going to get Seth and Gunther? That's not the worst thing. Gunther, huh? Gunther. No, go to sleep. Go to sleep. Interesting. Well, everybody, complaining about no direction for Gunther. It's not Ilya, which is a little bit of a letdown. Well, all right. Well, we're going to need an explanation, but Seth and Gunther, I can get behind that match. I imagine we'll get our explanation next week. Oh, Gunther's cut. Gunther's got a cut over his eye. I mean, respectfully to you guys saying this doesn't make sense, the real answer is that Gunther was probably going to wrestle Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio got hurt, and Seth was probably going to wrestle Braun Breaker, and Braun Breaker got hurt. Like, sometimes you just have to re-roll the dice and come up with something else. But again, we're a little under a month away from Mania. This is as simple as next week, Gunther cuts a promo with Paul Heyman saying why he attacked him. So it's fine. And also, we don't even know who Penta's wrestling, but we know Penta's going to be in a ladder match. Like, sometimes all you have to do is put the guys in the ring and ring the bell and let the story of the match be the story of the match. But that matchup still feels fresh. And I can appreciate that because Roman and Punk feels old to me. Cody and Randy feels a little old to me, if I'm being honest. Okay. Right, Sophie. I said that idea was too good. We can't go with that. We need to underwhelm it a little bit. That's what I get for opening my big mouth, Sophie. Yeah. I think we'll still get our Gunther Ilya match one of these days. If I'm being honest, and maybe you guys might disagree with me, but they might get more out of a Gunther Ilya match if they do it, say, like at Backlash in Italy, like an international crowd. It might actually be worthy of a main event if they do it before an international crowd instead of a WrestleMania crowd. Well, I'm not saying that Gunther and Seth have never faced off before. I'm just saying it feels fresh, like it hasn't been overdone. That's all I mean by that. Well, Modfather, I mean, let's recap, shall we? Bianca Belair, Rey Mysterio, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker. Who else? Someone else is hurt too. We just lost AJ Styles this year to retirement. And then who else? So that's 5 main eventers that we had in the past year or in January who were off the list for Mania, who clearly had some plans. Sheamus, yeah, Naomi. So yeah, it's just rough stuff, man. So that's something we got to keep in mind. For this ends up being a really good Mania. Honestly, it's going to be a small miracle because they did not have a full roster to work with going into this one. It's been severely hampered. Oh yeah, well we're supposed to have Iyo versus Raquel tonight too. And then that's still before Punk and Roman. So I wonder if those ladies are going to have a quick match. I want to know how Gunther got his eye cut up like that, though. That was very telling. It wouldn't have been the chair. I'm going to try to watch this closely if I can see how it happened. All right, so Gunther's about to pull him out of the ring. Unless Seth swung back and clipped him, maybe. Unless he was already bleeding when he got out there. I really wonder what happened there. I have no idea who L. Duncan is. All right, so Iyo and Raquel already in the ring. They had to cut this for time, cut the entrances for time, I'm sure, because Roman and Punk have to have their time.
Well, Iyo was just trying to pull Kyrie aside, and they were former friends. Let bygones be bygones, and questioning her about why she lets get treated the way she does. And Raquel got involved.
I can understand if Raquel ends up in Liv's corner for her match, but Iyo deserves the opportunity to actually wrestle at WrestleMania. She's been such an MVP. Yeah, no Judgment Day Clubhouse today. We got that video package from Finn, but no Dom, no JD. 2 Danhausen segments.
She is in all types of trouble here. Wow, that was unique. Well, let's start. This direction, my Sky.
Man, Iyo's so good.
Raquel Rodriguez. Drop kick. Raquel still not off her feet.
I like that, Shamanica. Keep the one-on-one at Mania, and then add them for a fatal four-way and Backlash. Sophie, of course they do. They have like three Raws. I think they have either 2 or 3 more Raws to build the match. It depends on how they end this match. I think if you have Kyrie and Asuka show up here, you could build to that. Gunther and Seth wrestled once when Walter was NXT UK champ on Raw. That's right. I forgot about that.
It's like Raquel finally believes in herself. Like she's finally realized that she has the size advantage that she does, that she is as freakishly strong as she is. And I truly don't think Raquel's going to stop until she's a world champion. Raquel did not.
Well, Sophie, again, with Bianca being injured and then pivoting to put Rhea Ripley in the Elimination Chamber, that really leaves Iyo with nothing to do. Tongaloa and Danhausen. You're in your bag tonight, Modfather. Jeez, what a foot. Yeah, Shamanica, I'd put all 3 of them in a match. I'd triple threat Asuka, Kyrie, and Iyo. Like, ooh, good Hurricane Rana reversal. No, I don't think Danhausen's wrestling at Mania. I think he'll just get a comedy segment. I would love to see him do a segment with John Cena at Mania. A Sai moonsault. Speaking of Ultimo Dragon earlier. Great shot there. Yeah, I'd like to see Kyrie kind of break away, but instead of like teaming with Iyo, like try to be her own woman at that point, you know? And then in doing so, then you have Kyrie, Asuka, and Iyo all on their own side. I would be for there. R-Truth and Danhausen, yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. I wouldn't be surprised if we get this. Oh.
Whoa, you have a genie? Actually, I heard. That's better. Now you can actually catch up over DiGiorno wood-fired style pizza. Right from your oven. Perfectly crispy and refrosted. You thought you could only get at a restaurant. And you want to chase down that friend who always says a payback later. It's not delivery. It's DiGiorno wood-fired style pizza.
These days, you've got 2 choices: buying a new car or making the one you've got run like it. That's why we have thousands of ASE certified technicians to help you get more out of your car. Firestone Complete Auto Care.
The truth thinks Danhausen is Dom or JD. Well, he already thought that who did he think was Dirty Dom on Friday?
To the flavor that found its way into everything from just one spot.
Because on SmackDown, he confused somebody. Oh, Jelly Roll. He confused Jelly Roll for Dom. So, yeah. I don't know who he would confuse. Unless they did the Hall of Fame segment and he confused Danhausen for a member of Demolition, maybe. Like, oh, Axis Smash. I love you guys. The best I could think of. Best I could come up with to play off the paint. Or call him Sting. But although I don't know that would play in WWE in 2026 since Sting's last connection was really more AEW. But who knows? Bubba Stare. Yes, indeed. He's got that euphoric look in his eyes, King. Bubba Ray Dudley, man. What an interesting character he is. My goodness gracious. Well, solid episode of Raw tonight. Boogeyman, yes, that's a possibility. Although I could see, because what didn't Danhausen in his like first night, not Elimination Chambers, first night on Raw, when he landed his list of Demandhausens to Adam Pearce, didn't he say he wanted to be in the Hall of Fame? If you could have him interact with all of them, you know, with Rodman. Oh gosh, Danhausen with Rodman, that would be a train wreck or gold material. Either way, with Stephanie, with AJ Styles, with Demolition, I think that'd be fun. Yeah, I saw them. Their bits together, Punk and Danhausen's bits online are pretty entertaining. I saw one clip today of them doing autographs together. Springboard drop kick. Here we are. Everybody hit that emote, the Iyo mote, if you will. Longest speech at the Hall of Fame, probably Stephanie, because she's the headliner. The headliner typically has the longest speech. That's my guess. Although AJ could maybe do it, but I feel like okay, Iyo's taken quite a bit here. What a great shot of her climbing on the top rope, and you can see Madison Square Garden in the background. Dude, Modfather, I love Booker T on commentary. Like all those losers online who voted him worst announcer, just a bunch of idiots. I like a good commentator who's excited about the matches he's watching. And he's one of the reasons NXT is a lot of fun. Could you imagine him calling the Brock and Oba match? Man, another quick Hurricane Rana, double stomp. Iyo starting to run out of steam.
Feeling desperate. You had to expect a cover like that.
Here comes Kabuki Warriors, like I said. Asuka's pushing Kairi to go, though. Oh, Kairi eats the boot for Raquel. Oh, roll up from Iyo. Only two. I thought that would have been the end of the match. Booker's getting more hate now because of stupid online tribalism. I mean, most WWE fans don't hate him. It's just AEW fans pretending to hate him just because they want their TV show to be better. And I'm like, just don't watch WWE if you don't like it. Like, it's that easy. Reclaim that time for yourself. Bullet Train. Asuka still messing with Kairi on the outside of the ring. Iyo is not focused. Uh-oh. Iyo suicide dive. Wipes out Asuka. I feel like she got caught on the ropes, though. She's back up. Iyo said to Kairi, I did that to help you out. But she's about to lose the match now. Oh, man. She just ragdoll picked up Iyo. Tahana bomb. Excuse me. And that's that. Raquel picks up the win. And now Iyo tried to help out Kairi. It cost her the match. So maybe we get Iyo and Asuka at Mania. And Kairi's just in a neutral corner or something. I have not played 2K26 yet, Sophie Duffy. I have not been able to afford that purchase yet.
Raw. You heard Penta make the announcement earlier on that he's going to defend the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania in a ladder match. Well, general manager Adam
IC title ladder match.
the field for this match. Qualifying matches have been held on Saturday nights. I should say have been held on WWE main event on Thursdays, and the WWE YouTube channel in the field is set. Look at the field thus far. Dragon Lee, the young OG.
Dragon Lee, Javon Evans, Rusev, and JD McDonough.
This one has Show Stealer written all
Wow.
over it. A couple of other matches have been made for WrestleMania here tonight.
Kudos to them. Finn and Dominic getting one-on-one. Good for them. Good on JD and Rusev getting on Mania, man. And here we go. Fatal four-way. That's 3 WrestleMania matches announced tonight, you guys. So we're up to 11 matches now, I think. Where's that? They had qualifying matches on main event, he said. Oh, and here's the Cena announcement.
I'm shooting a movie for Netflix called One Attempt Remaining that you can see when it comes out. I'm also on the road, which is ironic because there's a road to WrestleMania going on. Hollywood is really close to Vegas. Rumor around this tent is WrestleMania needs a host. Well, I'm already on that road, so I will see you at WrestleMania.
And then breaking news from earlier today.
So there you go. John Cena hosting WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. I've said it before. I'll say it again. It wouldn't be WrestleMania without the greatest of all time, John Cena.
My only downside so far is that we do not have an El Grande versus El Grande match yet. And the U.S. title. Well, no, the U.S. title is accounted for. So 3 things to address for my wants at WrestleMania. The El Grande situation, Carmelo Hayes, and the Women's United States title. Those 3 things have not yet been addressed to my liking. I know the tag team titles, the SmackDown tag team titles have not been addressed. Actually, neither have the... We still don't know what we're doing with either tag title yet. So we'll have to see what comes from there. But again, Mania cards filling out, you guys. Shout out to Finn and Dominic going one-on-one. Shout out to Rusev. I tell you what, man, that match, Rusev, Javon, Penta, JD McDonough, and Dragon Lee. First of all, that match is gonna burn it all down. Javon could walk away with that match. I do not believe JD, Rusev, or Dragon Lee is winning that match. I think it's down to Penta and Javon, and that could be very interesting. Well, it could be extremely interesting for yours truly's 2026 predictions, which predicted Javon Evans would win a title this year. So if I end up 3 for 3 by April, baby, we're going to have a good year. We're definitely not going 3 for 5 because AJ Styles already ruined that. But if we end up going 4 for 5, hot dog, my friends. The only other thing I have left, I have 2 predictions that could still happen. One is Javon winning a title. That could happen at Mania. And the other is Chelsea Green winning Money in the Bank, which I know she's currently injured. But they're keeping her on TV every week. And Money in the Bank is not until after SummerSlam. So I think she could still do it. She could still show up and win it. Rhea and Jade. That, if I'm being honest, that is one of my least interested matches this year is Rhea and Jade, which is a shame because this should I feel like this match should be a bigger deal than it is. Am I the only one who feels that way? Let me know. But yeah, Jackie Redmond asking about Seth Rollins. Oh, yeah, we're totally doing Seth and Gunther. I forgot about that. That didn't get announced, but
In there, do you have any sort of update on his status?
Jackie, you want an update on Seth Rollins? Well, here it is. He's there. He's pissed off. He's hurting, but you heard me say it. He is medically clear, and he's looking for a receipt. And Jackie, he will have the opportunity at WrestleMania. It will be Seth freaking Rollins, one-on-one with the ring general Gunther, and that is official.
okay. Seth and Gunther, WrestleMania. Tell you, man, this card is filling up faster than a Costco shopping cart, my friends. Okay. And yeah, like I'm sure we're gonna get I'm sure we're gonna get an explanation from Gunther probably next week. Who do I think is going to get their first title at WrestleMania, Trick or Javon? Well, last name, it could be both of them, so it may just depend on whose match goes first. I feel like Trick Williams is more of a lock to win his title than Javon to win the IC title. But wouldn't it be something if the holy trinity of NXT Black Excellence, if Javon walked away IC champion, if Trick walked away US champion, and Oba Femi walked away having beaten Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, what kind of a statement would that be? I tell you what, the people who are convinced that Triple H is a racist online would be crying in their car if all three of those men walked out making history at Mania. And it's probable. I think Javon is the least likely to happen because Penta just got the belt, and they're respectably and understandably high on Penta right now. So I can see them not pivoting over to Javon just yet. I think Javon winning the IC title would work better if he wins it off a heel and not in just a ladder match. But Trick, I think it's already time. It's already time to crown Trick. The crowd is ravenous for him. And Oba, perfect opportunity to sit Brock down, to just sit him down. Like, you can't always do this, but Trick and Oba, 100% for sure, should both be winning their matches. Like it's just the smart play. Just the smart play. Don't wait it out. Don't cut Oba's legs out from under him. And Trick doesn't even have to hold the U.S. title for a long time. It's striking while the iron's hot. Hey, I got a puppy down here who's begging for attention because it's just me and him in the house this week. So I'm trying to make sure I don't neglect him. Will Penta be champion at WrestleMania? Oh, yeah, last name. I think he will. I 100% think he will. I hope he stays safe. The last thing we need is one more injury going into Mania. I will say this. If he did get hurt at Mania, already booking a ladder match is a great way to just crown a champion in replacement without beating him. But hopefully he'll come out of that defense clean as a whistle and still healthy. As Roman finally is getting into the ring, as I've been yammering about. So much pyro. So Roman Reigns is the new Undertaker, man. You can go make a sandwich, get a snack, have your bathroom break, and that man still has an entrance. He didn't even have any belts or a bloodline now. It's just him and his jean jacket. One pose, and that's that. Yeah, no AJ Lee, no Becky Lynch tonight. Yeah, adding Vikingo to the match could be fun. I think it would be a fun element because then you could introduce Omos into it and you could create some spots there to work with too. Putting a giant even adjacent to a ladder match is always a lot of fun. So we'll see what happens. But man, WrestleMania is firing up, dude. It's firing up. Let that be a moral of the story too, to any naysayers in your worlds who've been bagging on this this card and this build. Just be patient, man. Just be patient. It's okay, pup. No need to bark. Do I think the ladder match will outshine the Fatal 4-Way match? 100%. 100%. I'm nervous about that women's tag. Those women's tag teams, particularly Charlotte and Alexa and the Bellas, have been a little clunky in their chemistry lately. You're right, last name. We don't even know the match order yet, for sure. It's been like 7 minutes. The Roman hasn't even said anything yet from the entrance to now. Yeah, Sophie, those people are dumb. This is the road to Mania this year has been fine, especially given the fact that they've had all these injuries to deal with and compensate for. And we're going to end up with a really good card. I think this year's Mania is going to outdo last year's Mania in terms of in-ring product.
New York City.
Oh, yeah, the prediction show is going to be a lot of fun for sure.
Acknowledge me.
All right, Roman. Everybody's acknowledging Roman. And here's Punk. And it's going to be like, is it great to be alive in New York City or whatever? Punk's got his hand taped up, but not like he's injured. It's like he wants to punch somebody. And he's already taken the belt off. Oh, he's just going to come. And yep, we're just throwing hands. Okay. Honestly, this is better. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I do think there's been a healthy amount of short attention span from the IWC this year.
Last week. And now bouncing Roman off on that table. They put a straight right to the jaw. Vicious pulling out from backstage. But you need more than that to separate these two.
And announce table's about to get broken. Throwing hands again. It's going to be very interesting to hear the crowd at WrestleMania for this match because the crowd loves both these guys. Roman going to try to powerbomb. Jamie Noble's trying to stop him. And now Punk with the go to sleep getting ready. But let's see some refs. Jason Jordan to the rescue. Oh, Petey Williams just took a spear. Not the purveyor of the Canadian Destroyer. Go to sleep. Punk does look a little wild-eyed. Now he's staring at the announce table. One of them definitely wants to put the other one through the announce table. I know. Think of Team Canada. Oh, there's Hurricane. And Punk faking him out. Still throwing hands on Roman. Those tape fists. Where are the Usos now, by the way? Did they leave the building? Did they go to the Waffle House early? Oh, Punk now. Oh, power bombs Roman through that table. Not Akuma. Not the Zebros. A little 10-year-old in the front row just giving a standing ovation to Punk. Punk is singing the Roman Reigns chant to Roman while he punches him in the face. I kind of like that. Yeah, listen. The fight segment, that was fun. But one thing I will say is, where were the Usos? We never, like, all we even needed was just a segment earlier in the night showing that they were leaving the building. I don't think we ever saw anything like that. I know they're probably, you could just say they were ticked off for losing the titles. But, like, yeah. This doesn't make, that part doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay. Well, that'll be our show, ladies and gentlemen. It appears we are about to go off the air here. Yeah, this will be the last match at Mania. I feel pretty confident. Punk just posing on the barricade in front of New York. Okay. Well, that's that. Da-dum. All right. That's Raw for you, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I'll be back with you tomorrow, same time for NXT. Please join me, and we're going to have a good time. I don't know why the Usos, don't mistake me for someone who's begging for more Usos in my life, but I don't know why the Usos wouldn't have shown up in that segment, since they've been all up in the Kool-Aid, as previous generations of mine would say, in the business here. But and there's no explanation as to why they weren't around since they opened the show. However, solid match. I'm very excited that we've really started to fill out the WrestleMania card now. We're getting a better idea. I think we have a lot of just straight up good matches this year, and we're not done yet. We haven't touched tag team titles. We have not managed anything yet with Mello or Gunther, or a few others. So I think it's not Mello or Gunther, Mello or Ilya. Sorry, we do have a match for Gunther now with Seth Rollins, but nevertheless, going to be a lot of fun. Thank you guys for joining me. I will see you guys same time tomorrow for NXT, and this weekend for Stand and Deliver. Braylon, thanks for joining the chat. Who is in the IC ladder match? So currently, the lineup for the IC title ladder match is Penta, of course, the reigning champion, JD McDonough from Judgment Day, Rusev, Javon Evans, and Dragon Lee. Those are the 5 that'll be competing for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania in that ladder match. So that was announced tonight. And nevertheless, appreciate you guys so much for being a part of this, and for showing me some love. I will see you guys tomorrow for NXT. And until then, like I say every single time, don't forget to be a mark, because being a mark means you believe, and believing makes wrestling better. See you guys very, very soon. Have a good night.